Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. I do apologize for the delay today. I thought it was going to be fine with normal time, but I did have people over for a wrestling thing, a Royal Rumble, and it just kept going and kept going, and of course, I just didn't want to kick people out, so it obviously took a little bit longer. I do apologize for it, but I definitely wanted to make sure I got weekly up. So let's get to it, because we do have some news on, let's see, what phone is coming out that everyone keeps asking about and everyone wants to know more about. Oh, that's right, the Galaxy S10. Now, if you did miss our last video, we did confirm what the phone looks like, the release date, as well as the pricing. The final pricing has been verified for the S10. Now we're going to talk about 3 features the S10 will have. So let's get to those. And the first feature is the S10 is going to verify that it has reverse wireless charging. This was a feature that I did enjoy on the Mate 20 Pro. It is obviously a slower charging, but I will say this, what most people, reviewers-wise, never talked about was the time you really do this is when it's in your pocket. Like, you don't do it just out of the blue, you know, and like, oh, here, let's go put this on the table and, you know, put it together. No, if you have, you know, when I had the Mate 20 Pro, I would have it in my pocket, I would have my Note 9 on the other side of it, and then I would put them in my pocket together, and it would wirelessly charge while I would be doing stuff, while I'd be on the go. That is probably the best time you would use the reverse wireless charging. Otherwise, yes, for practical purposes, of like if you just have one phone, like a normal person, not like a crazy person like me, basically you would just use it. Yeah, if you have a friend that needs a little bit of a top off, you would put your phone down this way, they would put their phone on top, and that is how you would wirelessly charge. It is wirelessly charging, it's not fast wireless charging, so it does take a long time. I would say you would definitely use that more to give like maybe 5 to 10% at most, but that's pretty much all you'd be giving. So yeah. Alright, now moving on to the next feature, the camera is going to be improved upon. And the reason why we know that is because actually the main person, the Samsung Air of this company, basically was traveling, and I think it was in Europe. When he was traveling, he had people tell him, like, you know, we just prefer the iPhone camera to the Samsung one, which I'm like, have you ever taken a night shot? But basically because of that, he was like, on the S10 we need a dramatically improved camera. That is what I want, and that is the biggest thing I want to see. So that is one of the biggest changes, is the camera is going to be improved feature-wise and quality-wise on the S10. So we expect to have those features improvement, which we've seen that on the One UI. We will have a video soon coming out about the One UI as well, on the things they need to change before launch, so hopefully we'll see that. But yes, that's a big thing. The last feature that has been verified is also from the leaked image. So on the leaked image we do see, of course, it's the S10. We have a full screen body. We have the triple camera setup. We have the reverse wireless charging. But the other thing that we do know as well is we have the fingerprint in display. So it looks like, yes, you are going to get the fingerprint in display. Now, this might not be on every S10, but it will be on a certain amount of S10s. They will have the fingerprint in display scanner, which, again, I like as the best solution for fingerprint display moving forward. If we can't have it on the bottom, I'd rather have it on there. I don't like it on the back, just because when I'm driving or when I have it on a table or anything like that, or when I have it wirelessly charging, the back is the absolute worst place for a fingerprint scanner to be in those case scenarios. So yeah, I'm happy with this overall. I hope that it is faster. I hope that it's using Qualcomm's technology, so even if your fingers are wet, that it still will work. But overall, I'm very curious to see how it goes. I will say that the Mate 21 did a much better job than the OnePlus 6T, so I'm curious to see how far this technology has moved along since last year. Alright, and then we now know the dates for Google I/O. So Google I/O is when they announce the latest version of Android. So this will be Android Q, which will probably be quiche. There's not too many Qs, right? But the dates have been figured out through here in all of the cryptic texts, which they do every year to figure out how what the new puzzle is going to be. And once the puzzle is solved, you get the dates for I/O. So the dates for this year will be May 7th through the 9th. Those are going to be the dates for Google I/O. Definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll finally get to go this year. But really, Google I/O is something that I'm very curious to see how it will go along. How will Android Q really bring to the forefront what we want with Android overall? Because I do think Android Pie was a step in the wrong direction. We'll have to wait and see how Q is, but I really think Android Pie was too much of an iOS-centric type of look and move. And I definitely think it has a lot of issues comparing to past Android O and other. Just Oreo, I think, was far better. I think this is the tradition with Android. You have one good one, one bad one, typically, or some ones that don't change much. But Android P, I think, was just, it wasn't good. There wasn't a benefit that I really saw in Android P comparing to Android Oreo. So yeah, I really don't care for the update. I never have. And I quite frankly prefer Android O Oreo over Android Pie. I really have. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do any of you prefer Android Pie and the way it looks, and the way it handles multitasking, which I think is the worst part of it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, now back to Galaxy. Of course, because the launch is upcoming, we also are starting to get word on accessories. And man, have a lot of you asked about the earbuds. So yes, it looks like they're going to be called the Galaxy Buds and possibly also Galaxy Fit, kind of like a fitness version of the earbuds. And these will replace the Icon X. Quite frankly, I like this because I never thought the Icon X was a good name scheme. It just didn't really fit with the rest of the Gear lineup. And now, as we know, Samsung has went away from the Gear lineup and are just calling it the Galaxy lineup. So the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Fit, I think, are going to be much better. We do expect to see this at Unpacked in a few weeks. So yeah, overall, this is definitely what I expect to see shortly. Not only that, but there is going to most likely be the following Galaxy Sport version of the smartwatch. So 2 years ago, there was a Gear Sport that came out with the Note, I believe is when it came out. And now it looks like that will have a new predecessor called the Galaxy Watch Active. Now, again, they're getting rid of the Gear lineup, so it won't be called the Gear Sport, but it will be the successor to the Gear Sport. This is going to be more fitness-oriented. Now, that might come at a cost for some things, so they might have new fitness things, which we'll see what they come up with. But the real thing is you might lose some things. This was the first watch, for instance, that lost the MMST payments, so you could pay at any credit card machine. It only had the NFC version after this. So that was something we lost. I'm very curious to see how it will turn out. But overall, it looks like that's what it will be called. It will be called the Galaxy Watch Active. It will not be necessarily better than the existing Galaxy Watches on the market, but it'll just be an alternative to it. So yeah, that'll be it. And finally, we have the last bit of news today. It's a slower news week after the big S10 information that we broke earlier this week. And that is the Oppo patents show an alternative workaround to the punch hole camera. So what they want to do effectively is to have a row of icons at the top of your screen. So think of it as like shortcut keys, right? Which is not bad, right? Like, yeah, you want your favorite apps that you always go to, you could have them at the top. But the reason they find this as a solution is because the camera app will be where the hole punch is. So effectively on all of your screens, you would have your favorite apps at the top. Your camera will always be one of them, and your camera will completely cover up the hole punch, so that when you look at the screen, you don't effectively notice the hole punch because of the fact that it's your camera icon on every screen on the smartphone except for the camera app. I think this is an interesting workaround. I mean, yes, if you don't mind having a favorite set of apps always at the top, kind of like how LG did it with their second display they used to have, I think that's a very interesting way. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a viable solution to the hole punch? I think it's very clever. For me, it depends on how big the hole punch and the icons are, because am I not going to have my notifications? Are my notifications going to be lower? Like all of that stuff will be moved down below this? I don't know. It's kind of curious. It's an interesting patent, but Oppo is the, parent company of OnePlus. So anything that Oppo does, you have to take a look at because OnePlus could follow. And of course, Oppo is big in their own right in China. So it's kind of curious to see where these will go overall. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Alright guys, now we are going to head to your questions. If you have any question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Just so you guys know too, we are working on a couple of things, so I know you can't tell right now, but I am in the process of redoing this entire office space. So like everything is a little all over the place in this room right now. And basically it's because this is going to completely move. I'm going to completely move this setup. So right now I have a desk in front of me with my computer and a bunch of mess on there. So I have that, right? And then I have the white table that I film when I film the overhead shots that you see. And that is another alternative basically that I go into. So what I'm effectively going to do now is essentially we're gonna possibly have a 2-camera setup coming in the next upcoming weeks, and basically one camera will be pointing at me and then another camera will be the overhead shot, so that I can switch hopefully between the 2 cameras and kind of show you guys different kind of videos and all these different kind of alternative ways from the way we film right now. It's a work in progress, but basically I'm literally building a giant cabinet to store a bunch of stuff. I am moving one desk all the way to the side. I'm moving another desk in front of me. I'm moving my green screen to the window and all this kind of stuff. So it should be a pretty interesting journey that will go on, and definitely, hopefully, some cool new looks for the channel coming in the next few weeks. All right. Hi, Ricky. How's it been, man? Doing good. Doing good. Looks like the live show time changed on the time banner. Yes, unfortunately, we do always normally try to be at 8 p.m. every single week. There are very few occasions where we do have to move it, but that was today. So I do apologize always for when we have to move the live show. What's up? I'm early. Yes, you were. I was late, actually, more so. Samsung, again, chiming in. Once a week, Samsung loves to chime in. S10 over iPhone XS Max. Hashtag upgrade to Galaxy. Thank you, Samsung, for always tuning into our show. I appreciate it. Now, if you would just give me my invite to Unpacked already, that would be even better. All right, what's up, Royal Rumble over already? It just ended at basically like 9:10 or 9:05. I'll try to stay up today tomorrow. Good. What's up? Good evening. What phone are you looking forward to this year? I am really looking forward to the bendable phone this year, probably the most out of any smartphone. Now, will it be the phone that I end up with at the end of the year? I don't think so. I think I'm going to end up with the Note at the end of the year, along with maybe a Pixel 4, maybe a OnePlus 7T. I mean, there are lots of possibilities, but the foldable phone, I would say, is the one I'm most looking forward to, because it could be the true game-changing phone that really moves us in a new direction. So I love that. I love the idea of technology changing up, and foldable phones at least look like to move us in a direction, and it's not a notch. So that's where I'm looking forward to. I want to see you stand up and turn around and walk around and go sit on that couch. No, that couch is very far away. Did you like the Royal Rumble? I did. I found it very predictable. I got 6 out of the 7 matches correct. And the 7th one, it was funny. I posted on Instagram everything that I thought would happen, and I said the only one I might be wrong about is the Women's Royal Rumble. And I basically said, because if Becky loses early and then comes in, then she'll win. If not, Charlotte will win. That is exactly what happened, and every other match I predicted correctly. So, yes. We need some refreshing. If I can continuously pick every single match outcome, that's not good. All right, is the S10 going to have the bone induction? No YouTuber has shown a pic of the top speaker. Where is it going to be placed? No. As far as I know, it doesn't. I might be able to take a look at it by the next show. Stay tuned. Um, Ricky, my daily driver is the Note 8. Waiting to upgrade, debating on the S10 Plus or the Note 10. Any advice? My advice is this, Daniel. Really, it just depends on if you want to wait. The Note 10 will be better than the S10 Plus, but do you want to wait that long? If not, then get the S10 Plus. It'll be a great phone. I don't think it will ever have any, like really downside of it. But the Note 10 will be better if you wait till the end of the year. So yeah, that's my advice. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. I would drink, but I drank a lot earlier, so my stomach is not feeling the best right now. I'm trying to hide it as much as I can. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. Let's see. I'm going to upgrade from the S8 Plus to the Note 10. Whoa, oh, I still haven't caught up on the... Okay. New AirPods coming soon. Yeah, they'll probably be announced in the March announcement along with the iPad mini. You live in Los Angeles, California, or you rooting for Los Angeles Rams to win the Super Bowl? I do live in LA. I'm not going to... I mean, I love LA teams, and I always, wish them the best. But I am not a, I would say, true LA Rams fan by any means. Quite frankly, I mean, my favorite team was always the 49ers. They haven't been good for a while, so I feel like the more and more I got into technology, the less and less I got into sports. To be honest, it was just something that like I dedicate so much time to technology that I love to watch a good football game. I love to watch a good basketball game. I love to watch a great baseball game, but I don't. My fandoms have subsided for most sports teams. But yeah, if I would say, yeah, my team was always, and I will say is still to this day, is the 49ers. But they haven't been good for a while, so and I admit that, that one Super Bowl we were robbed. Those lights went out, we should have won. But yeah, basically, yeah, that's about it. What is the battery situation on the S10Ss? I keep hearing different sizes. We revealed the battery lives, I want to say 2 weeks ago on Mobile Weekly. Check our last Mobile Weeklies. I think in the title we talk about battery size. Whichever one talks about battery size, that's the one we revealed it. But we have revealed the S10 battery sizes, all 3 of them. Will the Note have the Exynos 9825? I do not know if it will have that one. It just depends if it's going to be ready yet or not. Note 10 is going to be Yeti. Yeti eats beast monsters for breakfast. That's a good way to think about it. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. Let's see. I use the S Pen often and can't see myself without it. Note 10. The Note 10 is definitely the one you want to go with if you want the S Pen. And even Samsung agrees you should get the Note 10. So if Samsung says you get the Note 10, then I mean, who are we to argue with Samsung? How come photos of the Galaxy X have not leaked? Because Samsung makes most of that phone, unlike the other phones. So yeah, it's not going to leak as likely. And the Galaxy X isn't coming out yet, so there's fewer prototypes out there in the world. That one's coming out more likely in... the Galaxy X is currently still slated to come out in May, June, or August. Those are the 3 times we are heard so far, and again, I'll know more next week. Note is the star of the show. Samsung's flagship phone, except the Note 7. Samsung, greetings Samsung. Thanks for making great products. A lot of people are talking about Samsung in here. The overhead shot would be paid for subscribers who want to see the S10 or any phone early. Oh, overhead shot will be for paid for subscribers to see the S10 phone early. That's right. I always do talk about the phones on my desk. I have to figure out another place for these phones. I have to like have it right off the screen. Like I'm gonna have to have like a telephoto zoom lens so it doesn't get everything on my desk. Do you like the Note 9? I love the Note 9. It's still my daily driver. Hey Ricky, with pricing of the S10, what do you think starting price will be for the Note 10? 1,200? No, I still think the Note will be 1,050. I think that'll be the starting price for the Note. Oh, I will not say anything about the Rumble. I only said that I was okay. I don't think I said too much. I mean, I kind of ruined one of them for you, but yeah. Hi Ricky, I'm hoping you'll review all the variants of the S10 on this channel when they come out. I would love to review all of the versions of the S10. However, I do not have the money to review all the versions of the S10. So no, I probably will not be. If Samsung, who's on the chat, would, you know, send me all 3 versions of it, I will gladly do it. I'll even buy the 4th one. On sound display with the S10 because the speaker grill. No on sound display because S10 because of the speaker grill, correct? Yes, if the S10 does have a speaker grill, then there would be no on sound display. Is Samsung going to start improving software updates? Probably not. I own various mono Bluetooth. Do you know of any mono Bluetooths? I have the Jabras, Plantronics, Moto Hint. Do you have any good suggestions? I have not had a mono Bluetooth headset for a long time, unfortunately. So I do not know any off the top of my head. I will say that I just use my true wireless headphones sometimes as mono. So I have the Jabra 65T Actives, and those basically I can just put one in my ear, and I basically have a mono headset. So yeah. What do I think of the latest Gear 3.4 update? I have not. The Galaxy Watch, I think, was updated recently, and the battery life has still been amazing. I mean, it's the best battery life on a smartwatch currently I've used, still to this day. But yeah, I haven't noticed too much of a difference, I would say. Let's see. Samsung released the Tab S5 this year, please. I doubt they'll release the Tab S5 this year. I mean, maybe, but the S series has been about every year and a half. So not every single year. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't think they would do it this year. But it's curious, maybe with the Note. What is the Super Bowl of smartphones? Super Bowl of smartphones, I would still give it to Apple. I mean, Samsung is so big, but when it comes to like where everyone sees, because see, like the tech world sees Samsung's announcements, the tech world sees Pixel's announcements, but the world sees Apple's announcements. And what I mean by that is the financial district. I mean the financial market. You know, economists, like everyone looks at the iPhone one. So I would say the iPhone is still the Super Bowl of smartphones. I would say the Super Bowl selling day of smartphones still would be Black Friday, because although the Apple launches and, you know, all smartphone launches are great, Black Friday is still the most phones sold in one day, just because of the fact that there's so many sales. What sells more, S or Note? The S far sells more, like far outsells the Note. The S series will typically sell about 20 million. In the same time, it takes the Note to sell about 7 to 10 million. So yeah, the S series far outsells the Note series. If you have an overhead camera, you will always show a certain app. Yes, I would always show a certain app. I still don't have the app loaded on this yet. Again, new computer, new setup, everything's different now. And only changing, I'm really changing the entire setup pretty much entirely within the next few weeks. Though the Note is pretty much better than the S series, sells more. Yes. Do you think they will ever do a DeX update to the Tab S3? I do not. I don't think they're gonna do one to the Tab S3, to be honest. Now the Tab S3, that one did not have Type C, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if that one you could just connect through HDMI. But honestly, DeX, I don't care for DeX as much. I know a lot of people like it. Or actually, I wouldn't say a lot of people like it. I would say some people like it. But DeX, my thing is, a DeX would be much better if it would have a new browser. They would open everything in desktop mode. That's what I think DeX should have had. And the fact that everything is still mobile in your browser really kind of throws DeX off on what it could be. Google FitBuds, do you think they will be IP68? Yeah, I think they will. Hey, Ricky, do me a favor. Would you tell me what color the S10 on your table is? Stop it. No, I do not have the S10 this week. How would you think Samsung or another manufacturer can achieve cult status like Apple? Really, for cult status like Apple, it really just has to appeal to the masses more. And it has to be a part of, you know, everything in terms of like how people live, how people do things. Which again, I think the biggest issue of Google still to this day is that they should have, you know, everyone using their messenger and everyone using their video chat service, but no, they don't compete with Apple. And why wouldn't they? Like, it just it's so infuriating that I really I wish they would fix it. It's Type C. So it is Type C. So I would try James to plug in Type C to HDMI, you know, with any adapter. I don't have one at my desk right here. But try to see Type C to HDMI, and at least you can connect it directly. It won't look like DeX per se, but at least, I mean, you could still do split screen that way. You can still do a bunch of things that way. And with that, you can still use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. I would even suggest one of the keyboards that maybe have a trackpad, so you can get a keyboard that has a trackpad on the end of it, so to kind of really use it as a computer-like solution. Why do they call Bluetooth Bluetooth? I do not know that. I think it had to deal with like a blue light when the technology first came out, but I'm not positive of that. And of course, Bluetooth headsets were headsets in the beginning, so it was all blue. Or sorry, it was all headsets. So it was like next year tooth. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not positive on that. Will Samsung do any giveaways for with the anniversary phone? I would say I would hope so to help increase sales, but I don't know. I think they're going to do some giveaways. I think they always do at least one giveaway. The question is, will the giveaway be like $100 value, $50 value, or what? I think last year the S series came. I got a 256 gig memory card with it, so that was really good. Dell laptops with OLED displays. Did I not see that? I feel like I saw that from. I saw that from a couple manufacturers at CES. I don't know if I didn't see it with Dell. I want to say I did see it with Dell. And it would be coming out later this year. It was part of their so like if you customize the laptop, you can upgrade it to an OLED display. But I think that was later this year, so not now. But yeah, a lot of manufacturers. I know HP and Lenovo definitely had it, and I want to say Dell did too. That was a big thing of laptops this year at CES, whereas they're finally adding OLED displays to a lot of these laptops, which should have been done a long time ago. I like it for the keyboard on the Tab S4. Yeah, I understand. The keyboard is good, but again, most of the functionality you can just do with. I would say most of the functionality is doable, I would say maybe find a launcher. There might be like a launcher that makes it look more like a desktop, and I feel like I've seen one before. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll have to look into that. I went to the second and third Royal Rumble in 1970 at the Olympic Los Angeles. Wow, that is awesome. That's awesome. That's really cool. Alex, Samsung would have to sell their souls like Apple did. Yeah, that's something. My wife got me the Jobber 65 Active for Christmas. I wish I would have waited. Maybe these will be good. The icon lineup hasn't impressed me. I mean, look, the Jabra 65 Active are the ones I use, so I think you're fine. Let's see. I mean, I do like a green phone, not gonna lie. What is the best Chromebook out now? I mean, that's very subjective, because the best Chromebook out, I would still say, is the Pixelbook, right? It's also like $1,000 bucks. I think it's gone down to maybe like 700. That is the best Chromebook out. Best Chromebook for the money, though? I really have to say I'm a fan of the Samsung one, the Chromebook Plus, not the Pro, because the Pro I don't think is worth it as much. But yeah, if you just want a decent Chromebook, I like the Samsung one. It has Android apps. It has a pen that's very functional with those Android apps, I would say, fairly well. And it's at a medium price point. I think it starts at around $399. So not too bad. But yeah, that one is the one I would probably say is a good buy. Alright, any other questions, guys? I will have to get going because I don't feel as well right now, and I do have to wake up pretty early. So we will wrap up shortly. But yeah, a lot of things coming. This week we have the modular home review that we've had for a while. I'm also going to do probably another tech rant also with Google. And yeah, those are the two things. I think I'll also do the video to Samsung and, you know, just putting it out there again as we do once pretty much every year. If they send us to Unpacked, if they send the YouTube Tech Guide to Unpacked, I will give away the S10. You know, they typically give you a smartphone at that event, and I will totally give it to you guys. So yeah, that's the deal we always make, and basically, you know, we have you guys, all the viewers, basically at Samsung on Twitter, on everywhere, and yeah, hopefully we'll see how it'll go, but definitely is something that I think should be pretty fun. Let's get to some more of your questions. Hi, Ricky. Was talking to a friend who saw a YouTube video showing 5G was slower than 4G on a LG V40 on AT&T in downtown. Then he said YouTube, the S9 was 5G. So here's the thing. First of all, that's fake 5G. It's 5GE. That video was Austin Evans' video, and first off, it was not that that the LG was slower than the 4G. It's the browser he was using for that speed test was inaccurate. So if you watch more of that video, he actually does another speed test, and then the V40 with 5GE is basically faster than the 4G one. Here's what it actually is. It is 4G LTE Advanced. But AT&T, in their wisdom, don't want to call it Advanced. No, they don't want to call it LTE-A like everyone else would. They want to call it 5GE, which isn't real 5G. It is basically like AT&T when they were going from 3G to 4G. Before they had true 4G. This is so funny. All right, so 3G came out. Sprint came out with 4G, which was, I forget what technology Sprint used. WiMix, I think it was called, something like that. So Sprint was the first one to come out with a 4G that was slightly faster than 3G. Then AT&T and T-Mobile followed suit, and they came out with 4G, which was actually HSPA plus 3G was HSPA, and now we had HSPA Plus, which gave you slightly faster internet speeds. However, it wasn't until Verizon came out with LTE that we had true 4G. Right now, what you currently see out on the market for the most part is 4G LTE Advanced. And you're not even hitting the speeds that Advanced can hit, because you're not downloading at 1.2 gigahertz speed. You're not. You are downloading at what? 70 megabits per second? 50 megabits per second? Most of you maybe 20 megabits per second. You know, we really aren't getting to the 300, 500 megabits per second right now. So, yeah, we're not really getting fast internet speed like they promise us right now. In that video, once he did do a faster one in LA with AT&T, which is one of the test sites for 5GE from AT&T, basically it was 70 as opposed to 4G getting 40. So faster? Yes. Is it as fast as actual 5G, which is a gigahertz or 500 megabits per second? No. That's the type of speed that it's supposed to be with 5G. So yeah. Are you going to get the Exynos variant of the S10 or the Snapdragon variant? Usually my test version is a Exynos version, then the final version is a Snapdragon version. I do hope the green will come to the Note 10. The white Note 9 looks really nice, but the Note 10 though, yeah, I agree. Ricky, I've had Samsung phones for the last 5 years. Why is it when you block a number, it still shows a notification? With mine, it doesn't. Which version do you have of it? I guess when I block a phone. But do you use Samsung's phone dialer, or do you use like a third-party one from like say Verizon or something like that? Because that would affect it. But no, I mean, if I block a number, I do not get a notification for their call at all. Do you know if the S10 green will come to the US? I do not know that yet. I might by next week. Bluetooth was borrowed from the 10th century second king of Denmark, King Harald Bluetooth. Really? Is that really true? Who, uniting Scandinavian just as we intended to unite the PC cellular short rate. Is any of that really true? I'm really curious on that. That's really interesting basic tech. Thank you, Ricky. Samsung Plus giving my girlfriend Valentine. She's better get me something equal value in return. There you go. We'll get them this time. We'll see. Bluetooth was... Oh, yeah. That's really interesting. We will hit Twitter up about the Samsung event. I appreciate that, guys. AR for the S10 or maybe the Note 10. I mean, I don't think Samsung is really focused on AR still. I think that's more of Google's service, and Samsung will support it. 5GE, wowie. WiMAX, yeah, WiMAX was the service that Sprint used. So 5G is 4G and a half. I wouldn't even call it 4G and a half, honestly. LTE Advanced, something that T-Mobile's had for a while, Verizon's had for a while. Literally, AT&T is just changing the name of LTE. Rigsby has Infinity Up and Download and Beyond Download. Infinity Up and Beyond Download. Yep, there you go. Yes, Google's Bluetooth copied and pasted. Got it. Alright, guys. I think we will call that a show. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I do apologize for the lateness of the show. I will try to make sure that I don't do that next week. And yeah, I'm just very curious to see what state will my room be in for this office next week after trying to move at least half of these things and building this ginormous structure I have to build. So yeah, it should be fun, but we might have 2 cameras next week, and I might have seen things by next week. And who knows, after I see things, Rigsby could take over and really just reveal things. So make sure to stay subscribed and tune in next week. Alright guys, thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.